Welcome to Survival Stories with Steph. As a survivor and someone who suffers with chronic pain, I'm looking for fellow survivors and people that are thriving. Today's guest is very special to me, Efrain Chacon. So happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Really excited about this one. We've known each other a long time, 9 years now.
Yeah, almost 2 decades now.
It's been amazing, and I've just watched you in your real estate career, and you have such an interesting background in general. So I wanted to just have you come on today and share a little bit about that. So tell me kind of how'd you get into real estate, since that's how we met.
First, thank you for having me.
Of course.
And you know, when you told me that you were going to start doing this, I fell in love with the idea, and then you asked me to be on really meant a lot, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
I got into real estate while I was still working for the government. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and at that time in 2015, 2016, I was struggling with my benefits, but I learned a lot about benefits. So I started helping other veterans with theirs, help just guiding them through the process. And then I had one guy ask me if I knew about the VA home loan. And I said, no, let me look into it. And so I thought I signed up to get licensed to be a home loan a lender.
A lender.
But it was a real estate license.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up getting my real estate license just to help this guy out. He ended up not buying anything, but then I was like, well, I'll just kick it off then.
Well, you're a natural.
And then that's where it went. Yeah, yeah. And then that was in 2016. Sold my first, July 2016, sold my first house. November 2016. Then the next year, it went on from that, and then I went full time in end of 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it exploded. Like your career, I just watched you just go crazy. I mean, you've sold so many homes. It's super impressive.
Yeah, just past 200 million in sales.
That's insane.
Yeah,
and
I did not.
you
never
didn't
thought,
expect it?
No.
Well, that's what I love about you. You're such a humble guy. You're just like anytime something really good happens, you just get like surprised and happy, and it's the best thing.
Well, because it's I've always been like that, where it's just work.
Yeah.
You know, there's a job, there's a mission, complete the mission and move on and go on to the next one. You know, there's no like the accolades and all that. It's like, it's cool, but I don't need accolades. I'm happy with myself. I'm good who I am, and I do it for the mission. You know, if the mission is to help a client out, cool, let's do it.
That.
You know, if it's for something personal, then let's do it. You know.
That makes so much sense. So kind of your approach to your real estate is an approach that you had maybe in the military or the police, where like it served you well. Kind of, we were talking before we even started filming about kind of your whole life has sort of felt like it's preparing you for where you are right now.
Yeah, big time. So you know, in the last 20 years, let's see, I did 8 years in the Marine Corps. I was in Iraq in 2005, 3 kids. Worked for the government in law enforcement and security services. Retired because I learned how to play the game. So I retired at 33 after 15 years and I'll be with a 20-year pension.
Amazing.
Yeah, any government employee, call me. I'll help you retire early because there's so many loopholes. I'm a loophole guy. I'll find it.
You're the man to connect with. That's a great offer. I've actually watched him help so many people, so he's not kidding around. Reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll find a way.
Yeah.
You know, I hate hearing no. I hate hearing it's always been done that way. I don't care. I'll find a. So because it's always been done that way, you're just not going to look at another way to find a way.
Right.
You know. And yeah, so I guess, you know, real estate. The transition to real estate was easy in the business aspect because I was working 13, 18-hour shifts.
Wow, yeah.
And now at an 8-hour day, I accomplished so much. I'm going to make so much more. But that actually was kind of detrimental to me because I was like, I didn't feel like I earned it. Because I went from, you know, all those years of working hard and earning everything that I got in the government and the military to now in 8 hours, I can make 50 grand.
Yeah.
This seems unfair.
Yes.
But I just helped 4 families at the same time. You know, so I would
Put that in
almost
yourself.
used a bad word.
It's okay. No, you did good. You're okay.
I screwed myself because then I would say, no, you got to work more.
That's what I was
8
gonna
hours.
say.
8 hours.
Yep.
Dude, you've never
Why not
worked 8
do
hours. Why are you
16?
being lazy? Add 4 more. Add 4 more. And then now, and that made my insomnia get even worse. Because then it's like, oh, it's 3 in the morning. I was going to get up at 6. What else can we accomplish in those 3 hours? So let's put in more work, you know? And then I was doing so much that my first successful year, I made so much money. I made more money than I in 12 years in the government.
Wow.
And it was when I was the most depressed.
So I've actually kind of had the privilege of walking alongside you in this career, met you right when you started. And that makes so much sense to me on why you went so hard, you know, because we talked about that. It was like you're doing so much business and so many transactions. This is something that eventually you do get to that place of burnout, right? When you go that far against the wall, there's just no way that you can keep it up. So do you mind touching a little bit on that? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of us do where we have gone too far, we pushed ourselves too far, and we get a little bit burnt out. Like a lot of us tend to give up at that point and walk away completely from the career or whatever. So what made you stick with it, and how have you adjusted things now in your life to where it's a little bit more balanced out with your career and your kind of life? Do you feel like you've gotten that a little bit more balanced now?
I'm getting better.
You're better.
I'm getting better. I would say the thing that always kept me going was, number one, I didn't have the safety blanket anymore. When I worked for the government, the check's coming in first in the 15th.
No matter what,
you know, or every 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm gonna get a pension. I could be the worst government employee. That guy's gonna get the same pension as I am.
Totally.
That's what sucked. I hated that. I hated seeing somebody else do the bare minimum and making more than me in the government, and yet I'm doing way more work than them.
Not fair.
You know, it wasn't. And so, anyways. What always kept me going when I went full time in business was I didn't have that. It's all on me now.
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. I got this house. I got at that time I was married, and it was insane. And it's all on me. And if I stop, I might lose everything.
Yeah.
You know. So I will say that was also one of the best things, because that safety net also prevented me from going 100% in business.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taking, and I've always been a risk taker and everything. But in business, because it was brand new, I didn't know anything about business, I didn't take risks until that safety net was removed. And then I was like, I go 100%. And if it doesn't work out, it's not a failure. It just didn't work out.
Right.
It's not part of it doesn't work for the business. It's not a failure. So then I would just find what works. And then I just kept going and going and going. But it was detrimental, though, because, it made that stress, that burnout, and, for veterans or prior law enforcement guys, first responders, or just anybody that's gone through trauma that has PTSD, it will trigger your PTSD. And for those that have PTSD, you know that the easiest place to let it out is with your loved ones.
Wow.
And that's the hardest.
That's huge.
That's the hardest thing. And the reason why is because you're comfortable, because that's supposed to be your safe place.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that, so then their reaction is against you, so now you have resentment. And now you can't open up anymore. So now you're holding that in forever. It eats you up. But if you have my mentality, you're not going to let it stop you. So you're going to keep going and going and going while holding that in. And eventually it's going to drive you insane to where you just want to give up.
I get that.
But my kids was what's kept me here.
Yeah.
So I will say, don't ever get to burnout.
Yeah.
Stop being that freaking alpha male.
Point. Like, it's awful.
And that was the other thing, that mentality.
I love you. First of all, I love that you're like being so real. So
we got here a little quick.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like, to me, that's the bravest thing as a man you can do, coming on here, and because every guy feels this way. They're all going through these struggles and stress, and I really have a heart for men when they go through it, because it's difficult to be vulnerable in that way. So you being vulnerable is going to help people. So
that was my mentality. Like, I'm a man. Just take it and move on. Like, but when you get to the breaking points that I did, I got to the 3rd one this year.
Yeah.
This year was hard. You know a lot of it. We'll get into that. But
sure.
This was the 3rd time that I got to that point, and I realized why am I letting all these outside sources get me here?
Right.
Again, my kids, shift the focus, and I asked myself, my kids are still growing. I mean, 2 adults, 1 teenager, but as they grow in life, if somebody asks, they meet somebody, tell me about your parents or your family. I don't want them to say, my mom is this, but my dad is no longer here, or my dad. And that's what.
That's the reality. I mean, that's the reality. We've lost people. We know people where they get to that point. And I think a big point we want to make today is, if you are a person that gets to that point where you feel like you're at your lowest, that they can reach out even to us, like DM us. That we get nothing else out of doing this other than helping people. So we want to just really make that clear. If you're somebody who's struggling, he's a great person to talk to.
We don't need to know each other.
Yeah, you don't.
I get, because I put my phone number publicly on social media that literally says, pick up the phone and make the call.
Amazing.
Or I will read your obituary. I mean, I think you've seen the post. And I mean that, and you don't have to know me, because Trauma's trauma, PTSD is PTSD. Whatever you're going through, if you don't know how to handle it, just DM me. I don't need to know you. I tell people, look, if you hit me up, tell me you need a shoulder, tell me you need a mouth, or tell me you need an ear. I'll listen, I'll give you my opinion, or I'll just give you my shoulder to lean on.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't want to hear the opinion. Sometimes you just need somebody to be there for you, to know that you have somebody that you don't even have to say a word, but they make you feel better. Or you can let things out. You tell them, I don't want to know your opinion, just hear me out. And venting, I never vented, and it's such a huge thing.
It's such a release, isn't it?
And one of the worst things that I ever did was, and it sucks to say, was going to the VA for help.
Really?
I call them wizards. None of my psychiatrists, none of the wizards have ever served in the military, have never even left the country. They don't know anything.
How do they know how to help?
And so the first time I went, I looked at the guy and I was like, this guy, there's no way in hell this guy's a veteran. And I was like, did you serve? He's like, I get that a lot, but no. And I walked out. I was like, how am I supposed to relate to you? You know? Now I have my circle. My circle is very, very small. I have people that I can trust, people that I can count on. They count on me. I'm motivating my friends that have served. And I motivate them by me picking up the phone.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling something, I reach out because I never do that. And then I tell them,
brave.
hey man, when they're like, hey, thank you so much for reaching out, I want to say that to you. So I hope you know how I am, and I never reached out. The fact that I reached out, I want you to know that you can trust me. I want you to reach out now, because it took so much for me to drop my guard to reach out to you, to be vulnerable.
That's huge.
And I want you to know, if I can do it, you can do it too. Just reach out. Stop this whole alpha male mentality of, you can be an alpha male, but we're humans, you know?
Yes.
Like now my perspective in life is, rather than being this guy like always freaking mad and angry and everybody needs to see how loud I am and how strong I am and I can beat you, and like, no, now if I can't control the outside actions, then why am I letting it control me? If I can control it, it is what it is. It's life. Just roll with it. If I can't control it, why am I mad? If I'm in control. I'm making myself mad. So everything has a positive. I look for the positives now. And before I would look for the negatives, because that would energize me and motivate me to be angry and to be the only way I knew. But now I look at life differently. I'm very stoic. I'm reading. It's just been a big change. And I'm teaching that to my sons. And like I see how they are now, and I'm like, I'm happy that even though this change is recent, I was always scared that they were going to turn out like me.
Wow, really?
You know? And
you're amazing.
And I've always
that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart, because you're incredible.
Well, maybe I should rephrase it. I don't want them to go what I went through.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes so much sense.
And I recently, this year, I realized I have 2 adult kids that are still kids.
They need you even more sometimes. Like
and this whole 18-year-old thing,
it's bullcrap. Yeah. It really is.
You're an adult when your mind and your heart and your logic is ready.
That's
when you're an adult.
That was great.
My daughter's 20, and I just told her, you're a 2-year-old adult. You're a baby. You don't know anything. But she's doing great. I'm proud of her. My 18-year-old all my kids are doing great. But what I don't want is for them to have the mentality that I had, that at 18, I'm gone. By 19, I already had a kid, married, and already a war veteran.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I
got an 18-year-old that still is asking for permission to go out. The respect. My daughter's still asking. I like that.
That's a beautiful gift,
and
I
so
think.
I want them to still, I don't want them to be stressed out about, at 18, how am I going to make rent? How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to feed this kid? You know, I want them to enjoy life, you know? My son's with his friends. He takes a 15-year-old too, and they're making plans. They're going to concerts. Like, I didn't get any of that. I didn't have that opportunity, you know? And I'm glad that they do. I want them to enjoy life and be kids as long as possible.
I'm the same way, and I think that a lot of parents, that's just what they want for their kids. You want to give them what you didn't have, and you still make mistakes along the way. The main thing I learned about being a parent is grace for my parents. I'm like, you don't know.
Man.
You don't know. And then you think back, wait, they were only like 30 or 25 when this happened. They were learning too. And I think the biggest gift you can give yourself is complete forgiveness and peace around your childhood. And that's like the heart of your childhood, your teenage years, your adulthood. Finding a way, no matter what you've been through, like for me, I kind of had to do some of that work. You were somebody that I went to when I had my brain injury. I suffered, for the first time in my life, I had PTSD symptoms. And so for me, it was out of left field. And you were the person I thought to call because I watched you over the years so many times dropping whatever you had going on to help other people. And for me, we were like friends, but we were also client, and I had a business, and I was going to, and so it was odd for me to do that. So that says so much about you, that you're such a trusted person to me. So I will say that the things that you told me along the way helped get me through that, and I think part of it was just sort of normalizing the feelings I was going through. So can you sort of maybe tell people, like, hey, if you're going through PTSD for the first time, or you're experiencing this, what are some of the things that you can do or expect, or you're not weird if all of a sudden you're seeing something or hearing something and you're in the grocery store. That's not weird. You've got something physically going on with you. And I think that people downplay how enormous that can be if they haven't been through it, to actually have like a hallucination or something where you're completely out of your body. That was unique for me.
I'll say this: don't, and it's easy to say because it's just easy, but it's harder to do, you know. But when I finally realized that the PTSD, number one, I'm in control. You're in control.
Awesome.
At all times.
Amen.
If you're gonna stress out about how bad things are gonna turn out, why can't you stress out about how good things might turn out?
Look for the right side.
Or stress out on both. Stress out on both. But don't just focus on the one negative thing, because that's what's going to keep bringing you down. But it's so hard. I remember.
It's so hard.
I used to say, just think positive.
Forget it.
You know how hard that is?
It's so hard.
Jeez. It's hard. But what I realized, there was little things. I started noticing, like, why do I feel happy right now? Why do I feel good? All I did was change the brakes on the car.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like. So I just started doing, and I've never been an auto guy, ever.
Yeah.
But then I was like, so let me start doing the little things that just bring me a little bit of joy. That's it. I started noticing what the little things, I always thought I had to do big things like flying, right? I'm a pilot.
True. Yeah,
so, I mean, and I love that. Who would have thought that? Who wouldn't
like flying a plane?
But people are like, but it's so peaceful out there. Not when you're flying. And that's what I like. I like the chaos. Because I love controlling chaos. So when there's so much going on, I'm at peace.
Right.
I am calm. I am... Like, you know, you're listening to the tower, you're listening to, or air traffic control if you're out in the middle of nowhere. You got other pilots that you're listening to. You got to look at your elevation, your everything, right?
So much going on.
And for me, it's so smooth. It's a process.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that. I think that's why this is another thing that helped me. I realized I don't like, you know, I have multiple businesses. I don't like business. I like building businesses, making them efficient, and then bringing on a partner.
And walking away.
Yeah, and so all my businesses, I have amazing partners.
You do. You're always like.
Danny, shout out to you. Yeah. Fletch, shout out to you. You guys are brothers. You guys, I could not be where I am without you guys' support. So big shout out to them.
They're awesome. Danny's incredible guy. You guys. When I saw you guys link up as partners, and I know that was kind of weird in the beginning. You're like, I don't know how to like let or step back.
Yeah.
And he was the perfect person, I think, for you to come alongside it, because you could trust him, and there's 100%. No way that you're going to open up if you don't trust, especially if you're somebody that's been through stuff that we have. You're a little bit more guarded. That's great. So you enjoy the ride, the building, and the
that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
The other thing too was that, you know, when I was trying to get professional help and navigate through this, and they tell you, you know, do this, do that, do that. That's a blanket therapy that doesn't apply
to everybody.
Trauma has to be, it's specific to everybody. So the help needs to be specific to that individual. It needs to be tailored. It can't just be this blanket thing. So then when I realized, I was like, if I do that, that makes me more angry. Like I went to the VA for help and I would leave more pissed off. Twice they called the cops on me.
What?
Yeah, because one of them.
Oh, tell that story.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you mind telling one of the stories?
I love
it's
sharing
so
the story
funny.
about the VA.
It's so crazy.
I hope tag the director of the VA on this. All right.
That story's pretty gnarly.
This is during COVID, and I wasn't doing well mentally, and so I called for an appointment. I wanted to get seen right away, and thankfully they had an appointment in 3 weeks. So I had to suffer for about 21 days.
That's so long. Yeah. Telling you to wait 3 weeks when you're like, I need to go today.
We can see you in 3 weeks, or do you have the hotline number? That literally was the response. I was like, yeah, thanks. I'll fucking call some random number. So whatever, I show up, and when I checked in, they're like, oh, no one called you to reschedule? He's on vacation.
Oh, I'd lose it.
So,
yeah, that makes
and that's
sense.
what happened. So
that
I said,
does make sense.
well, I'm glad he's happy. I'll just go to the parking lot and start my pistol right now. I wasn't going to do it. I was just pissed. And security's like, what you say? I was like, dude. And he blocked my way. I was like, get out of the way. And he's like, well, what did you say? I was like, none of your business.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they had already triggered VA police, and VA police came, and they had no idea what was happening. They just, they responded because whatever alarm went off. So in the parking lot, they confronted me, and I just kept walking backwards until I got onto city property, and I was like, all right, let's go then.
I think, I would think as a lay person, like, you're ex-police, you've been police. If they're showing up on site and they see you're having a hard time,
That's what pissed me off more.
Wouldn't they have more empathy for your situation?
That's what pissed me off more because at that time, I was actually giving de-escalation classes, how to talk to people,
Unreal.
how to and that's what pissed me off. That's literally what set me off. And I was like, all right, let's go. But we're going on city property. We're gonna be men right now. That's it, because they're federal. So, and they wouldn't. So, and then the second time, oh no, that was the second time. The first time, I showed up and they're like, oh, unless you have the COVID vaccine, he's not gonna see you.
Are you kidding
and I'm like,
me?
Hold on, I am here because I need help, and he's not gonna see me. That's not his choice.
Yeah.
So I started yelling. He comes out, walks me to the parking lot. He's like, we can talk here. I was like, oh, you're gonna give me a session in the parking lot? And I went off, and VA police happened to be there. And
they just happened to be there?
Same thing. I was like, let's go on city property then, boys. And I stopped going. I was like, no, this is stupid. Every time I go to the VA, I get worse. And they don't tell me they're going to prescribe me meds. 3, 4, 5 pill bottles just show up. One time, 3 bottles showed up, and I was like, what the hell is this?
And those can mess you up.
Oh, well, I looked it up, and I was like, everything I read was like, this is bad. So I went to Kaiser, because I had Kaiser, and he's like, I need to know how long you've been taking this. I was like, I'm not. He goes, you'd be dead in 7 days if you took the combination.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, I have to ethically report. I was like, what do you mean? I'll write a statement. I'll give you his name, email. I'll give you everything. VA solution, let's just move him to another facility.
I mean,
thanks, VA.
So I think, and that's the hard thing. Like places like certain different, wherever you're going for your medical help, some of them are better suited to treat your problems than others. Others are just not set up for it. And you're going to go in and get kicked around and stressed out. If you're experiencing that, you need to make a shift. And I think sometimes when we're in that situation, we're like, where do we go? Who do we turn to? And you're already struggling. The last thing you want to do is start looking up different, places you can go see doctors and all those things. So I think just find someone like an Efrain or, even reach out to me, somebody that can kind of help maybe point you in the direction of some people that can help you, because you don't want to suffer like that. Like, why get kicked around and almost killed because they're experimenting on you? That's ridiculous.
And the hardest thing for me, and I know a lot of men, especially men that are there for others, and like, I'm the guy, the back of my business card says, I got a guy. People always,
it does. You are the guy.
People always come to me for anything, whether it's real estate, insurance, help on anything, And I love that. And if you're that type of individual, I know that you're thinking, well, I'm not going to reach out for help, because then they're going to think, oh, I'm not that strong, so they're not going to come to me for help, and I'm letting them down.
Yeah.
And that held me back from actually becoming the person that I wanted to be, because I still didn't want to let others down by reaching out for help. And when I finally did, I realized a real, true warrior that has a good heart, good mind, and is godly doesn't care about the opinions of others. If you need help, you're going to reach out for it. And if that person wasn't the right one, you're not going to hold it against them, because at least they gave you the time. But find the right person. But reach out. That's probably the hardest thing. Reaching out when you're an individual like that. That's always been on the move, there for others in leadership positions, and you don't want to let others down, reach out. Because that's the best thing I did, and it actually made me feel like a better man, and it solidified that it reassured me that I was right, that if I did reach out, I wouldn't be letting that person down. And in fact, I'm solidifying the trust by reaching out, by letting them know, hey man, I know you always come to me, but now I need you.
Oh.
And that solidifies.
And
now
feels good to them,
the friends that I've done that for, now and I love it. And I mean, I get the random calls all the time, and I'm like, what's up? What's up? Let's talk. I'm glad you called, because I've read obituaries. And I don't want to do that.
No more.
Make the call.
Make the call, 100%. And You know, I always say it's like if you can sometimes even just get through that night.
Yeah.
You know, everything
One
looks
night.
better in the morning. Really,
One night.
Don't make a permanent decision off of temporary feelings. Like honestly, it's not worth it. And yeah, I mean that's something that we have obviously a heart for.
Yeah.
So I think that like we're saying, everything that you've been through has shaped you so uniquely, and just the personality that you have of being able to be a macho guy, but also being able to open up and be raw. That's such a unique personality, and it's such a gift from God. I feel like that's how you're going to be used in life, and you are being used. So I watch you with the guys that you know you have that bond. If you have a bond of serving in the military or being on the force or first responder of some kind, the way you guys banter and the way you talk with each other is one of the cutest things I love it. I love it. It's so cute to me. I grew up as the only girl in my class till 5th grade. I know it sounds weird. I had like girls above me and girls below me. And I had 2 brothers, so I love watching that like banter and bonding, and it's a way that you guys can communicate about really hard things and make light of them, and I think that's really cool. So you're very well suited to help people in that
I love
area.
it. I mean that's who I've always been, but you know I had to stop being like that, you know.
Because you're going through it yourself.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
It was that there was other people that would say that that's selfish because I'm not there for them. I'm taking time away from them because I'm there for others. And so I was like, okay, then I got to stop. You know, I changed myself and I wasn't who I was, yet I was still trying to be there. I was forcing myself to be who I truly was when I was naturally changing myself into who I didn't want to be.
Wow.
To satisfy somebody else, you know? And it was for the, I mean, in my mind, it was for the right reasons, you know? But now, where I'm at, I realize that was detrimental to myself and the other individual.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a service. Instead, now I am honest, I'm open, I'm going to tell you. Well, I've always been like that, but certain people I didn't because I knew I didn't, you wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. You would take it as I'm attacking you and then use it against me. So I just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Now, you take it however you want. I'm coming from a place of goodness, from my heart, to help you. If you don't see it that way, I'll still try to show you. And if you still can't, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, still reach out to me. But I'm also, if you're not willing, you know, and I know people that are not willing to change at all, and others that show or say they're not, but deep down they do.
Yeah, you can tell.
You know, and those are the ones that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna know you. I'm not gonna give up on you because I know you're me.
Never give up.
And I needed a person that would literally just be like, hey man, act like that however you want. But think about what gave you what you're going through right now when you survived it.
Amen.
So why can't you just survive this? Go another day. That's what triggered that. Because you said one more day.
Yeah, one more day.
So if you survive that you went through for so many days, weeks, months, years, why can't you just wake up tomorrow and then figure out what you want to do? That's it. One more day.
It looks different. Everything looks different in the morning. My dad gave me that advice when I was younger, and there were so many nights where I was like, oh, if I can just make it till morning, and then the sun would come up. For me, it's like how you said certain things make you happy, like working on a car or whatever. A lot of mine is like nature. So I found like getting up early in the morning, and like I had to get up early because I couldn't sleep because I was in pain. So I'd be up at like 2, 3 in the morning by myself. The whole you and your insomnia. When you're up alone all night long, there's something that kind of happens where you're just under attack is what I call it. And sometimes you just kind of have to get through that night. And if I could just get to that next day and see that sunlight, and it would be a little bit better. You can kind of make it through. There's so much to live for in this world. There's so many beautiful like experiences and things out there. And even as sick as I am, I'm in pain every single day of my life. And I still know it is so worth it to be here. It is so worth it to, like, I look back on the last 4 years of my life where, I could have died 4 years ago and many times since. And I just like go, wait, none of this would have happened. Like I wouldn't be doing a podcast. I wouldn't be having conversations with friends in real estate where we're talking about these kinds of things. That's a door that never would have been open. I'd have been sitting here talking about your listings every day, and I would have been bored to tears, and so would you. So it's just sometimes when doors close, another one opens, and like I'm still doing my job, but this is like a passion I get to experience every time talking to you guys.
And I'm glad you're doing this.
Thank you.
I'm glad,
you encouraged me.
There's so many people that are going through this, you know, especially the OIF, OEF veterans, first responders. Generations have changed, you know. My generation, there was a lot that happened, you know, and now you have this new generation that really hasn't gone through a lot.
No.
You know, and I can't say verbatim, but that whole good times create weak men, weak men create bad times create strong men create, oh, there you go, good times.
You did it. You nailed it. I was so impressed.
So, you know, right now I truly feel that we are in our bad times.
Yeah.
And it's creating the weak men.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, we have weak men right now, and that's why we're having bad times.
Well, I think too, like you parent different than you were a parent. So if you look back to how our parents were parented, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was old school, and tough. And so they did some of that with us, and maybe a little less, you know. And so now I think a lot of us tried to go the opposite in our parenting, and then we created some kind of spongy kids, you know, in a way. Mine aren't, yours aren't. And watching them grow in that way and not succumb to that, because like you said, we don't want them to go through what we went through, but you do want them to have the stuff it takes in life to get through life, because life is tough, and nobody's going to hand you anything, and nobody's going to be there to bail you out. There's no Superman coming to save you. Like there's times when mommy can't be there, and they know that, you know. And
that's actually because you know I was a dad really early. At 23, I think I already had 3 kids, or 25.
So cool.
2010, I was 25. That's crazy. I was at 20 at that time. In 2010, I was the military border liaison officer for the Department of Defense. As a 25-year-old, my job was to go to Mexico and negotiate the release of service members and bring them back to the United States.
My gosh!
I was 25 years old. I just realized that. Thanks, Marine Corps. Holy shit.
My 25-year-old like calls me something. I mean, I'm sure she has questions. I mean, there's questions about how to do anything. Like, I can't imagine doing that and negotiating.
Yeah, but see, and so what I was trying to say was, you know, I can't believe I was only 25. But now, like looking back, like I was such a young father that I only knew how to raise my kids the way I was raised.
Yeah.
You know, but I will say this, thankfully for the leadership I had in the Marine Corps, they taught me that the reason they break us down is to build us up to how they want us. Our parents broke us down because their parents broke them down because of discipline, but they were never taught, I'm also gonna help you become better. Now, I will say my dad friggin' was hard as hell on me, but every Sunday, he sat me at the table and talked to me for hours. And as bored as I was, and I wanted to get out of there, it's a reflection of who I am today because he taught me that. And then in the military, they emphasized on that. So when I realized that, then that's how I was with my kids. I was still hard as hell on them. And I got better as a parent. It sucks, but your first one's your guinea pig.
Oh, totally. My first one.
Your second one was not a guinea pig, but he's a feral one. So I had to discipline that one a lot. And then the third one was just a sweetheart, heart of gold, and you know, not a lot. But.
Your kids are so fun, and I have had the lovely experience of coming over for dinner and watching you guys as a family. It's one of the best experiences. You guys are constantly giving each other shit. but yeah,
and see, and I learned that the best relationship I could have had was not just being that strict parent, but being the strict parent that shows the kids that you're being that strict parent that shows your kids that you're still there. I wanted my kids to know that, yeah, I'm strict, but if you're ever in some shit, your thought should not be, Dad can't find out. I need to call Dad because I need him now. And that's the role we have. You call me at any time. I don't care what you did. I'm not going to say anything. I'm nothing.
That's what I say.
I'll give you a day. I'll give you 2 days.
I'll come get you.
But then we're going to talk about it eventually. But your safety's first, and I'm gonna come get you. And don't worry, we'll handle it. And yeah, if it's something that you messed up on, that's your choice, and you're gonna get.
No, you're fine.
And you're gonna get disciplined for it.
You're doing so good.
But because those were your actions, and that's life.
Yeah.
You know, every action has a reaction, and that's gonna be my reaction.
Well, you back it up with love. It's like you may have the tough side, but you're backing it up with love.
And so raising my kids by showing them why I'm doing things, and always reminding them, you need to be better than me. Has been extremely, extremely helpful in raising them because, you know, I missed out a lot on their life because of my work.
You're working, you're gone all the time, I'm sure.
Oh, and so this is where I was getting at. And so now that, you know, 2 adults, 1 teenager, and now that I actually have the time to be there for them, I realize I'm babying them because I didn't get to do that stuff. But then that's not the right, I shouldn't be doing that to them right now. So I stopped.
You have to parent according to the age they're at.
Because I was doing that for me.
Yeah.
You know, like my kid wakes up at 4:30 now in the morning because he's a plumber. And
oh my gosh!
Yeah, oh Eric, yeah, he's doing great. And so I was waking up to make him breakfast, make him his lunch, you know, and because I never got the opportunity to do that. And then this was 18.
He's gonna do it when he gets out.
He's a blue-collar kid. Hey, make your own lunch.
I love it.
But that was for my self-satisfaction, though. That's what I was doing. It wasn't. Yeah, it was for him. But come on, he's 18. He can make a sandwich. He can make himself some breakfast. But in reality, I realized that I'm doing that for me, and that's not. You have to also realize why are you doing this, and who is it going to help? If it's detrimental to them, but it's only going to help you, don't do it.
Well, a lot of people parent from their wounds. But if you don't
heal those wounds,
right,
you're causing them wounds.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and I did that, and I'm glad where I'm at now because I have a better perspective on life. I'm being myself now, and so now I can talk to him about the things that I've always wanted to talk to him about, but I never did. You know, because we weren't on the same page on what they should know, what they shouldn't, and you know, to keep things peaceful, you know, as a husband and as a man, all right, you know, I'll go with it because it's not that it's bad the other way, but it's not my way.
Yeah.
You know, but then why create an argument? Just, you know.
Because a lot of people, guys and women in general, you don't like confrontation. It's like not worth it to have the hassle. Yeah.
I love confrontation.
Yeah, but yeah, no, in the home. No, yeah, we should preface that. We like a peaceful home.
But now I don't even like confrontation.
Yeah.
And you know, I had a really bad road rage. And I've done it. I did it a few times with my kids, you know, and now I just had a recent incident where I was just like, having a bad day. And my kid was like,
he's like, who are you?
I was like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, I'm proud of you. And I was like, what?
I love
He's like,
that.
I'm proud of you. And I was like, why? He's like, you're not mad. You didn't yell. I was like, what do you, oh. And I was like an aha moment. I was like, oh. And my kid said he's proud of me. I was like,
and it's like,
so now that's a reminder every time.
It's such an easy thing to do, though, now that you see it.
But now I show him too.
Yeah.
There was 2, right? We were talking about negative and positive. I could respond negatively or positively. Negatively, all right, I'm going to cut you off. I'm getting out of the car and I'm going to try to open that door.
It's going down, yeah.
Now it's like, I hope you have a blessed day. Find God, you're having a bad day.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
Why?
it gives you more peace, right?
Yeah. And that's stoicism, right? Yeah. There's a positive and a negative. His actions can either, if I let his actions piss me off, am I really that strong of a person that I'm saying? No, I'm the strong person because I'm controlling how those actions affect me. And if he cut me off, all right, cool. Why? I got my kid here. The positive is let me show him how to react positively, right? Or if I let that action control me, the control would have been negative. But now I'm controlling the situation.
And think how long, so that bad feeling of when you would freak out in that moment, that would have come and gone in that moment. But the good feeling that you're carrying with you from showing your son a good example, that lasts a long, forever, you know? And
all it takes is one time.
That. Yeah, that's true.
All it takes is one time. Do one good thing. In a moment when you know you're struggling, you're going to snap at somebody. Just try it, and it's going to be the hardest thing to do. But I'm telling you, if you do it, not only are you going to accomplish one of the hardest things you've ever done, but you're going to recognize how good that feeling is that you get from being like that, that the next time that happens, you're going to remember that, and you're going to do it again in a positive way.
I love it. I love watching you really live life out, and you're bold enough to do it in front of people, and all the things that you're sharing are so helpful. I would love to touch on, I think it's really cool. Can you talk a little bit about DART, the organization, real quick, that you and our friend Dustin have together?
Dustin and I work together in real estate. We're partners. We did some flips, and now he's in real. We're still both in real estate, but. Dustin's an Army veteran. We get along really well.
He's the best.
Our humor is awesome. Our humor has to be, we got to be careful in public sometimes.
Yeah, we're having him on. We're going to have him
on. So one day we were on our ways to meet a client, and we didn't realize we were both going through the same mental struggles. And I told him, I was like, dude, you see how successful we are, but are you happy? He's like, oh, I'm not, man. And I was like, we got to do something, man. we need purpose.
Yes.
And that's because we're veterans. You know, we need purpose. So we started talking about, and this was during the fires, like, I can't remember what year, but we're like, what if we buy a school bus, retrofit it with a sprinkler system that just covers it all in water? We put food, first aid, and because we know sometimes firefighters have red tape, law enforcement has red tape, they can't get to people. So then we'll just freaking smash through everything and go rescue people.
Amen. I love this. This is the best. When I heard this, was like the best idea.
Let's fucking go. What are we gonna do? Arrest me for saving lives? Which they will. It happened in Tennessee.
They will arrest you if you.
It happened in Tennessee. This father and son duo who had a helicopter, and the government was North Carolina or Tennessee. They were refusing to go help this family that was stranded. This father-son duo came to the incident command post and said, hey, I got this helicopter, I'll go save them. And they got told, no, because you're not certified, and if you go, these officers will arrest you.
Stop.
And it was an elderly couple.
No way.
Dustin and I were like, hell no.
Yeah.
We're doing it. And so anyways, that spiraled, and Dustin took the lead point, and he got everything done, the 503, or 501, I was
C3, 501c3, yep.
So DART is Direct Action Response Team, and basically, because we've both been, in the first responder society before, we know all the red tape. So basically, we've reached out to first responder or fire departments, law enforcement is basically, look, we know you guys got red tape when there's an incident command issue. Just hit us up. Our hands aren't tied. We'll reach out. When the floods happened in North Carolina and Tennessee, Dustin was able to, I think it was, I don't want to say the name because I'm not sure, but it was a big trucking company.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you guys pick up stuff, and if we're in the area and going to North Carolina, we'll pick it up for free and we'll ship it because that's what we're here for. We're here to support and help communities that go through disasters when government organizations can't help them because of red tape.
Because there is so much red tape.
And it's stupid.
Yeah, and people have a heart to help, though. They want to help. So I think, and if you know the workarounds and all of that, you're the perfect people to call.
Yeah.
So
and the workaround is we're citizens.
Yeah.
And there's no law that you can get. Fine, arrest me and take me to court. I'll win.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll win because there's no law. Those are not laws. Those are what are they called? Directives during an emergency situation.
Oh, so that it's not a law? Like they can't even
actually arrest you? You're going to charge me with failure to obey, but then it's going to get dismissed.
And a failure to obey isn't.
Yeah. And now guess what? Next incident, you're going to see me again.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same thing because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep helping, And so that's what DART's about. DART is about, again, direct action response team. And it doesn't have to be a major thing. We just had, there was a family in Valley Center, had a house fire. They lost their stuff. My best friend, Fernando, Ricky, hit me up and he's like, hey man, did you hear about that family? I was like, yeah. He's like, I got money. You want to go buy some stuff for them? I was like, yep. I hit up Dustin. Dustin gave us a couple $100. We went to Costco, Walmart, Target. We filled up my 2,500. We filled up the 1,500. We filled up the 1,500 and Ricky's truck. And we just showed up. We didn't tell the family anything. We just showed up. We gave them the stuff and we left.
And that's you do that stuff all the time, and we really don't talk a lot about it. So I think it's
because if you're gonna help. Just help. Don't,
you're
there's no need for the accolades.
Yeah,
the accolades are in your heart. The accolades are with God.
With God,
that's it. Just help.
I am so incredibly proud of you, and being your friend, watching you navigate life is really cool. I plan on being your friend forever because you're just somebody that I would bet all my everything on that is just gonna win at life, because when things get hard, you dig in, you find workarounds, and if the thing that worked before doesn't work now, you try something different. And I think that that's huge. A lot of people just try and do the same stuff over and over, and it doesn't get them anywhere.
Nope.
So,
and it's because, again, me specifically with PTSD and talking to people who have PTSD is, if you don't go through the cookie cutter process, don't go through that blanket therapy.
Yeah.
Find the little triggers that make you happy. That's your therapy. That's your therapy. You'll zone out and you'll have nothing but happy thoughts because you're doing something positive. And then when you're done, you're going to continue on that dopamine rush of happiness.
Yes.
Right? It's all scientific. It's all scientific. But if you don't find that and you just continue focusing on why,
and all that. Rumination.
Instead, I'm telling you, look, if you have PTSD, that means that whatever caused that PTSD is the hardest thing you've probably gone in life, and you're still here.
Yes,
you're still here. So one more day, and start and look. And if you're still here and you've been going to therapy, I don't want to say stop, but I stopped, and then instead I started focusing on the little things that made me happy. And that's it. And that was my therapy. It wasn't the VA. It wasn't private doctors. It wasn't the therapies. It was me. It was finding, and I don't want to say just me, and it was also finding my circle, finding the right people. It's not that I excluded people in my life, but I no longer feel that I have to associate with them out of duty of friendship. Now I associate with them because I bring something to their life and they bring something into my life, and we can go 4 or 5 years without talking. But if you call me, I'll be there. And if I call you, I know you'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Those are the only types of people that I can have in my life super close now. And that's what happens. Honestly, when you go through something like this, your circle gets tighter, and then the ones that are still left, you just look around and go, this is solid gold.
They're acquaintances.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I love people so hard, so I was putting all this time and energy into people that probably weren't the right ones. And I think you just have to sort of get that discernment over time of they're not ready, and so you can kind of like pour into them and let them go through their process, and then they come back, but not holding any bad feelings going forward. Like for us personally in our lives is such a huge thing. Like just don't carry any of that bitterness with you, you know.
And that's what's hard if you're like us, and then you're a business owner, because you feel like, well, what if this is when I stop, and this is the moment that maybe it's all it was going to take to change this individual.
Oh,
but no, because
you're not the savior.
No, no, you're not. And then if people are not gonna, it's okay to stop without giving up on people, right? I have people that
love them from afar,
and I'm straight up with them. You know, I'm like, dude, don't call me again for this. You've called me 3 times. I tell you what to do. I give you my opinion, and you continue doing the thing you call me about to talk you out of.
Yeah.
So why stop? You're my boy, you're my homegirl, but if you're not gonna listen, I'm still there for you, but don't ever call me about this situation.
That's
You
good.
gotta figure
Tough
out
love.
and I've lost friends like that. That's why they're acquaintances now. And my friends are now best friends, brothers, sisters, because they knew that I was coming from the right place. I hurt their feelings. I told them what they didn't want to hear, but that's what they needed. And then when they realized that, they're like, dude, thank you. And I'm like, because I needed that. I need somebody to just break me down again and be like, hey, build yourself up. That's it. You know, and somebody was really hard on me, but they also made me realize, you know, it's okay to be there for others. It's okay to serve others, protect others. But if you don't put yourself first, you're not going to be at 100%.
No.
And I need to be at 100%. So now that I put myself first, and it's not selfish, by putting myself first, I'm at 100% to be at 100% for others.
To give to other people.
And there was somebody that said, put yourself first. And that's it, just those words.
Just something simple. And that's what we've touched on. So, you know, you did the therapy and that you did it. Maybe what I want to say about different things that help people is sometimes something will be working and then you have to shift it and then you go to something different, but not the same thing works for everyone. So like, it's awesome. Like for you and for me, finding positive, happy things in our day was super helpful. There are times for other people that they find a really good therapist and that therapist helps them, but it really depends on the person and what is working for them. So the best thing I think is just to reach out to someone you trust.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at least whatever they're going to tell you, it comes from a good place and they can support you along the way. So now, tell me a little bit, let's shift over to business real quick before we kind of wrap up. You're always got your hands in so many pots. So I know you're doing real estate, which is amazing. And I love your videos and how you help. I mean, if you're active duty or not active duty, or you've had any kind of experience in the military first responder, this is your guy. Like he's just so good with that. And I know actually a lot of real estate agents, there's a few in the county that really serve the public very well in that capacity. But what in addition to real estate are you doing?
So I have a financial business, and this started because, again, I hate taxes. And my first year in real estate, or my first successful year in real estate,
It's a shock.
It was a 6-figure tax bill.
Like what? That's how much I made before.
I get 6 figures in anything from government assistance. You're going to take 6 figures from me? Nah. So I started looking into the tax code, and I learned all these loopholes and things. And anyways, I have a great friend, Fletcher, who's now my business partner, and he's like, dude, you're a business owner. You need to get these types of life insurance policies. Did you know that if you can invest money with life insurance, and because it's a life insurance policy, you don't pay taxes on it? I was like, talk to me, Goose. So basically, there's something called an index universal life policy, and it is a life insurance policy. However, it's used to invest in the market. And there's a certain amount of money that the IRS allows you to put into this policy before you have to start paying capital gains tax. So to give you an example, I just did this for a 1-year-old child. I'm helping a Marine set this up for his granddaughter. The way I structured it, the first couple of years, she's only 1. But it's a $350,000 life insurance policy that she's going to have for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
That's only costing $70 a month.
Wow.
But they're going to put $150 into it for the first couple of years, then bump it up to $250. Then when she's 18, $500. Then that's going to be her 401k and whatever. If it's supplemented like that until 65, she'll have $6.6 million tax-free.
That's insane, and that's generational wealth. That's crazy.
So then you put the beneficiary into a trust. So when she passes away, now the trust gets the money. And then the trust opens up another life insurance policy, puts the money into that one, and that's how you create generational wealth.
That's insane.
The people that created it are the Rockefellers. So that's why every member of the Rockefeller family is a billionaire, because the law says that a child needs to be 24 hours old to get a life insurance policy. So the Rockefellers will dump $1 million into an IUL and not let that touch it until they're 18, and it turns into $2.3 billion tax-free.
That is crazy.
Tax-free.
You're like
So when I started reading
secrets,
that,
guys, these are things we need to know.
When I started reading that, I was like, wait a minute, the law's the law. The law applies to everybody. This whole, the tax is for the rich. No, the tax code was created for business owners to motivate Americans to create businesses. Unfortunately, we've gotten too quiet and we let government tell us, we're going to raise your taxes again. What happened to, I don't want to get too cool, but hey, 1% on tax on the tea and we went to war.
Yeah.
Now I'm paying 33% to frickin' California, plus the $800 on my LLCs that I don't even use because I just like to be prepared for what? I don't get anything back from California except higher taxes.
It is a tough pill to swallow each time you got to write those bills. But I think like someone like you who can give advice on how to sort of get around those things is
and I'm not a tax guy. I'm just doing this for me.
Just a
and
friend.
I haven't paid taxes in 4 years.
I don't know if you want to say that.
And it's all legal, haven't been audited because I'm using the IRS rules.
Yeah.
If you use the IRS rules, why would they audit you?
Yeah.
You're auditing yourself, idiots. And so I have 7 policies. My kids each have one. There's one for business owners called the Executive Bonus Plan, where you get the whole tax write-off and the tax goes to the employee. But guess what? You're the employee. So now you're paying personal tax, not business tax. I'll talk about this all day. So that's my other business.
We're gonna have to have a
and
whole
we have
show on that.
and again, I built that with Fletcher, and Fletcher is the one that's taught me all this stuff. That guy's a genius when it comes to this. Also Army vet, my boy. And again, that's why I'm like, and Fletcher runs it, and I generate business, but he runs the team. I think we have 17 agents on that one across the country. He's the one building them and helping them. But now where I am now, I'm getting back into it. I love building people up.
Yeah, you do.
And you know, I was in a place where I couldn't. I thought I was still doing that, but I wasn't. You know, I would start and then give up, or you know, because I was trying to figure myself out. Now that I know myself, that's all I want to do. I want to build my teams again. You know, Danny handles my team on the real estate side. I don't. We have 9 agents on that one. I've only met 1 or 2. You know, Danny's phenomenal when it comes to that, the trainings and all that. I thought I was having issues with just civilians. I can't talk to civilians. They don't listen. They don't have to work. No, it wasn't that. It was me. It was me being one with the tunnel vision of this is how I am and this is how it's going to be. If you want to, you come to me for advice and then you don't take it, then no. Instead, I practice servant leadership. I'm going to help you based on your needs. I'm based on how you are. How I talk to you is not how I can talk to him. How I talk to him is not how I can. Everybody's different. So knowing that, now I'm going to help build you up. But again, it's also based on you. I'm going to tell you have to take action. I'm going to tell you everything. But if you don't take action, I'm also not going to give you my time because you're not willing to give time.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's huge. It's
you got to stop.
Waste.
With people, if you're giving your time to people and they don't reciprocate to themselves, you don't want the time. It's time for them, and they're not willing to give it to themselves, but yet they want to take yours. I'm good.
I'm good too with that. But I think that the cool thing about you is if somebody is ready for help, wants help, needs advice, like you're the one to go to. Yeah. I'm so grateful you came on here today.
I'm glad you had me. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we could talk about so many different things. I'd love to have you back on again and we can go even deeper. But the fact that you're here and you opened up and just a personal thank you for you being there for me and my husband when we went through all of our stuff, just the hours of time that you gave us to talk through these things when it was something that we'd never experienced before. It meant a lot. And then I'll never forget it. You never forget the people that are there when you're at your lowest. So thank you. And I'm always here. Andy's always here for anything you ever need. You're somebody that is super important to us. And
you guys have always been there. Andy every morning.
The text?
Yeah, the text, yeah. I love that. And that's even before I was godly.
Yeah.
He's been doing that for years.
Isn't that?
I love it.
The thing about him, I love that he has that I don't have. It's that he's just very steadfast. If he does something, he's not going to be overpowering. It's just like, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah,
I
that's
care
it.
about you.
And that's all you need, and especially for men. I'll hit up my boy, hey man, hope you're doing good. I'll text something stupid or bring up a funny thing, and I'll just think about you. And that's it. That's all we need sometimes. That's all we need sometimes. Just hit up your boys. Hit up the people you serve with. Hit up the people that meant something to you, and you haven't talked in a long time. Because guess what? That they'll if it meant to them, they'll reciprocate. Because they're like, damn, that was really cool. I'm gonna hit him up now. I'm gonna hit her up now.
I love it.
And then that snowballs into positivity. That snowballs into being there for each other.
It's momentum. I always say we need a little momentum in our life. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Again, we'll have you on again.
Thank you for always being there for me since, it's been 9 years. I've met so many people in real estate, but this turned into a friendship too. And you know me, friendships and business never mix.
Yeah.
I've had those hard conversations with you.
Yeah, we've had those.
And you've had them with me. And that's one thing that I always respect of you and Andy is that when it comes to personal stuff, we can be truthful. We can hurt each other for the better.
Yeah.
And realize she's saying that because she means it, or I'm saying it because I know that's what you need to hear.
Same.
And look at us, but business is business.
We're such good friends. Yeah, I love it.
And a lot of more people stop taking things personal. Business is business, especially in real estate. God, I hate it. It's black and white. There is no gray areas.
No.
If it's on paper, do it. Stop arguing. It's not your money. It's not your house. Stop taking things personal.
These realtors get but listing agent and selling agent, they get in these battles like it's their home. I'm like, this is not, you're not going to live there. It's just.
And believe me, I'll fight for my clients. And
there's a difference.
But I'm fighting for them.
Yeah,
not for me and my feelings and my
ego.
In my ego?
It's ego.
No, man.
Yeah.
It's for them. And so we can, this whole competition, I love the agents where I can be like, hey man, look, I'm going to be straight up with you because this is how I work. This is what I'm offering. This is what I want, blah, blah. They're like, oh my God, thank you, because I have all these offers. And they're like, tell me what we got to do, bro. Let's talk it out. That's it. Why back and forth? Or the agents that, I presented it to the client. Did you present? Oh no, I emailed it to them.
Yeah, it's like, did they get it?
Did you talk to them? What the terms mean? It's a 36-page contract minimum.
Yeah.
And you're just going to email it to them?
That's crazy.
I've had others that I've had to use some I call it verbal judo, but where I've had to talk them into how to talk to their clients so we could win.
I've seen you do that. You're like I don't know, a whisperer, agent whisperer. I watch you kind of mind them, mind, what? No, I love it. Well, I'll have you back on. There's so much to talk about. You're the best.
Other than the podcast I had.
Yeah, I love
this is the best one I've been on.
Oh,
Thank
I love you so
I mean it.
much.
I mean it. This is going to make a big difference in a lot of people's lives.
Thank you, my friend.
I
love it. Thank you. Oh my gosh. As always, I have to thank TPS. They are fantastic, and they're the reason that I can do this show. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to. I don't do the actual real estate transactions, but they do a great job and work with a lot of our agents. Today, they're offering a special $89 if you give them a try on any of your real estate transactions. They're fantastic. And anyways, so glad you guys are here. And if you're somebody that's struggling with something, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, you're a survivor, you're a thriver, you have struggled, you're getting through it, hit us up. We want to have you on. Have a great day, guys. Bye.